It's really wonderful to see you all here today.
Michael.
5 years ago today, the United States government lost its way on the road to Guantanamo Bay. It didn't just begin imprisoning detainees in open-air cages at Guantanamo Naval Station. It also imprisoned American ideals of justice and fairness, and it betrayed our most important values. As Michael just said, the Guantanamo Bay prison has become a symbol around the world for human rights abuse and for wrong-headed policies enacted in the war on terror. It has brought shame to our nation. Yet the Bush administration stubbornly insists on the lawfulness of the indefinite and arbitrary detention of hundreds of men at Guantanamo Bay. The America that Amnesty International believes in would close the Guantanamo Bay prison. The America that we believe in would lead the world on human rights. By continuing to insist that the United States has the right to detain people indefinitely without access to courts and outside the rule of law, the administration has placed the United States squarely on the wrong side of history and in defiance of domestic and international law. There's no evidence that we have been made safer. But there is growing evidence every single day that the United States government's moral authority and its ability to advance human rights have been severely diminished. You know, what's even more astonishing is that the administration has stuck to this misguided policy despite widespread condemnation, including 2 unfavorable Supreme Court decisions, international criticism, and a rebuke by 2 United Nations bodies that oversee U.S. compliance with its human rights treaty obligations. The International Committee of the Red Cross reportedly concluded that the U.S. government engaged in interrogation methods that were tantamount to torture. We know that some of those held in Guantanamo have indeed been subjected to torture or other cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. Some have been sent to countries that practice torture. Still others have been disappeared into secret prisons. All but 10 of the detainees at Guantanamo, one of whom was sent there at the age of 13, have been held for years without charge. None have been tried and convicted of any crime. The detention regime has resulted in hunger strikes, riots, and suicides. It is appalling that the U.S. government officials have stated that some men may be held there for the rest of their lives. This is not the America we believe in. In our America, those who are alleged to have committed serious crimes will be brought before a court for a fair trial. In our America, justice would be served according to the rule of law. In our America, Guantanamo would be closed and the detainees charged with a recognizable crime and given a fair trial or released unconditionally, and not released to a country to face torture or ill treatment. I'm very happy to say that today tens of thousands of Amnesty International activists are joining other people of conscience around the world, including world leaders, faith leaders, and human rights leaders, to speak out against these abuses. Amnesty International will hold demonstrations and activities calling for the closure of Guantanamo in more than 20 countries, from Japan to Spain to Tunisia. And here at home, Amnesty International members and supporters will be rallying in dozens of cities from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon. We will be united in saying that it is past time for the government to put an end to this most sorry chapter in U.S. history. We will be united in saying it is past time to close the detention facilities at Guantanamo for good. And we will together say it is past time. It is way past time for the U.S. government to begin once again to lead the world on human rights. Thank you.